I had so many ideas in the past that seemed too intimidating in the moment. I usually didn't act on my ideas, fearing that it would be too much work and it would fail at the end, or that I am not worthy of my dream outcome, that I cannot have it all. So, from my defense mechanisms, I just saved the ideas for a later date. And I can see people doing that all around me, a lot. Sometimes the ideas just aren't very realistic because of time, resources, and priorities in general. But sometimes we straight up don't act on our ideas because we think we are not good enough yet, or it is not yet the right time. In the past, I had many great ideas for all sorts of things. Ideas for new brands, ideas for new creative pursuits, maybe different variation of what I'm already doing, for new paintings I wanted to paint, etc. I am a person who has a lot of ideas, always. When I saved ideas for later, in the past, they began to pile up in my notebooks, notes app. I talked about them with my friends and family sometimes, and they would ask me, "Did you do that thing that you were mentioning last year?" Or I would ask myself, when I would remember that I wanted to do something and then didn't. Slowly, with time and overwhelm, not following up on my ideas, I stopped trusting myself more and more. And with not trusting myself, I was not acting on my creative ideas that I got more and more. As you maybe know, if you have watched my videos for some time now, I have ADHD. It sometimes gets really hard for me to get my ideas in order and realize my projects without getting overwhelmed or distracted. People down from Magic Mind send me some products to try out, and I decided I will give their mental performance shot a try of testing it for 7 days straight and see how my productivity improves. Magic Mind Productivity Shot is 100% safe and science-backed with 12 magic ingredients, which include nootropics, matcha, adaptogens, and vitamins. It gives you energy and sustains it without caffeine crashes. It helps balance your stress levels and puts you in a flow with sustained focus on your creative project. Through the past weeks, Magic Mind has become a part of my new morning routine. I think that because I have trouble focusing and staying in a creative flow for longer periods of time, it gives me this perfect little routine to really intentionally start my workday. Magic Mind is available on their website, and you can use my code YARAS20 upon checkout to get up to 20% off for one-time purchases. Or if you choose to subscribe, you can get up to 48% off your first subscription. For more details, you can check the description below. Years ago, I was excited getting a new idea, believing that maybe I will act on it. But later, with my overwhelm and not trusting myself, I learned to suppress my ideas. And when an idea came, I thought, I will never do that anyway, or I cannot do it, or I don't have time now. Maybe I will do it another time. I'm sure we all have good ideas that we end up not following. But if we do that with nearly all of them, or the ones that really spark something within us, we have a problem. Ideas are our mind's way of trying to tell us that we want to do something exciting. Sometimes they're creative solutions, sometimes a spark for a potential of a new creative endeavor, and sometimes they are an idea for a new painting or a new song. Ideas tend to come in the field of your interest. To a painter, ideas will come in the form of visions for paintings. To a musician, an idea will come in a form of a lyric and a new song. And to a passionate high school teacher, the idea will come on how to more efficiently grade the tests of their students or how to explain something to them better. Ideas are quite a magical thing. The brain synapses firing and connecting different concepts from what it seems like a thin air. Creative ideas that our brains generate seem like pure magic to me, and we so easily take this process for granted. If you're a creative person generating your own creative vision from your mind, you're a magician. What an exciting, freeing feeling it is to be able to generate our own ideas. It's our personal freedom and uniqueness and proof of magic inside us. What I'm trying to say is that ideas are magical and you should not take them for granted. So why do we procrastinate on following up on our ideas? They feel exciting, they feel fun. Why do some of us have a tendency to save our good ideas for later? It is probably because following on our ideas is scary, because we like it better to stay in our comfort zone and not try new things and not take any risks. So the brain makes the ideas, and then when the idea is intimidating to follow, we make an excuse like it is not the right time yet and I will save this idea for later. So we don't have to deal with the feelings of fear and insecurity right there in the moment. So we just kinda put it there for later. The problem with saving ideas for later is that life is a continuum. We grow and evolve through time. And in my experience, when the later actually comes, I am usually not that excited for the idea anymore. Of course, there are exceptions, but I have learned that the idea comes in that particular moment, usually for a reason, and that is for us to act on it at that time. When I wanted to travel to Cuba 5 years ago, for example, I said one day, because I was sure that I'm gonna still wanna do this, you know? And now, I would rather visit Japan for my next big trip. I have changed. When in the past, I was always saving good ideas for paintings for later, 90% of times, when later came, I wasn't in that mental space anymore. And only then I realized that when I got the idea, that was the time to do it, even though I felt not good enough yet and insecure. It was usually the only time to do it. And I realized, wow, where would I been right now if I had just acted on my good ideas as they come instead of saving them for later. I don't have to save ideas for later, because new, better ideas will come later, if I actually respect my ideas and act on them as they come. Later, I will grow and not be the same anymore, and my preferences and ideas will grow, evolve and change into things that I cannot imagine right now. Of course, some things don't change, and we can follow up on some lifelong ideas later in life. But if you can act on it, and if it's possible, it is never a better time than right now. I have heard once that if you don't cherish your ideas, write them down, and act on them, they will stop coming to you. And I noticed that to be true. I have learned to believe in this lifetime that feeling of excitement is an indicator that I'm going into the right direction. Creative ideas usually come with the feeling of excitement, and that tells me that the idea is a sign that I should act on something, because the body knows stuff. Cherish and act upon your ideas in the present. Write them down, act upon them, follow up. They're worth acting upon. And if they came to you, that is a sign that maybe you might just be ready now. Lots of times in life, we wait for the right time, the right moment. We wait for God knows what, because we're intimidated. Maybe we secretly believe we can't do it, or that there is too big of a risk of losing. But it will also be a risk later. Why would you overwhelm your future self with a pile of saved, intimidating ideas? Why won't you just follow up on them as they come? The more times we don't act upon what feels exciting and right to us, the more we feel like we are betraying ourselves, and we lose the trust in ourselves, and it gets harder and harder to move and to act upon our exciting ideas. In this case, we are creatively spiraling down instead of spiraling up. And we can choose in which way we want to spiral. We can choose it consciously. Ideas are magical. Act upon them as they come, because they're here now for a reason.